An unfinished letter on legacy. Honestly, I bear no ill will towards Emily Caldwin or her father, the royal protector. I've never given a single fig for any of those palace-born nobles in Dunwall, so how could I think ill of one empress or another? You would not be incorrect in suggesting that my motivations for assisting the Duke were at least twofold. I wanted to advance the causes of natural philosophy for the sake of the work itself, and to show those study morons at the Academy the light they very nearly extinguished. Further, of course, I am no stranger to infamy, and in fact, I am fond of it. But there's more driving the engines of my desire. Dynasties rise and fall with the ages through mundane catalysts such as famine, plague, or bankruptcy. Now, however, we live in a time that is being shaped by genius. Just as Roseborough, Sokolov, Joplin, and Hypatia have set the wheels of history spinning with their contributions, so will Kirin Jindosh. And it is my goal to eclipse those who came before me. No matter how the history books record the tale regarding this turn in power, it must be stated that it was only possible through advances in industry and technological exploration. Power now rests in the hands of the brilliant, and the world will never be the same. Bit of an ego on this one. If that wasn't obvious. Reflection on my journey to Bandisi Continent, Part 2. We were only miles from shore, but our approach was marred by numerous hidden reefs and jagged rocks. They lay shallow, and we spied 2 vessels that had succumbed to them some time ago. The remaining crew was uncharacteristically silent as we edged by the weathered wrecks. The first mate declared a particularly narrow channel to be unpassable, but the captain dispatched 10 crewmen onto the submerged coral with sledgehammers. Thereafter, each chest deep in water, they pulled the Antonia Aquilo into the tiny channel with ropes. It proved a marvelous solution. However, just as we were about to lower the rope ladders, tragedy struck as the men were beset by a school of reef-dwelling eels. Apparently their toxic bites were quite painful from the railing. We could see them swarming the men, who begged us for aid before succumbing to the paralytic effects of the toxin. Within moments, all were still in the water. We continue on in silence, and by sunset we had cleared the bars and put anchor in a bay with a red rock beach and emerald overgrowth beyond. I confess I was near giddy to put my feet on land again. The smell of ripening fruits and warm earth was as pleasing to me as a cherished vintage. We gathered wood and made fires and indulged in some tinned meat and lemons from our stores. How good it was to slumber on the beach with the crackle of embers nearby, having finally escaped the cramped and damp quarters of our vessel. We took turns with the watch and passed a quiet night. At last, we stood on Pandician soil. Conditioning Sokolov. My efforts to fine-tune the electroshock machine have been less than successful, breaking down the more bothersome elements of a subject's personality, such as willpower, while leaving cognition and creativity unharmed has proven unrealistic. Instead, my machine leaves the subject babbling like a child, which is the opposite of what I need from Sokolov. Bye-bye! Letter from Delilah. Kirin, you ask what the void looks and feels like, if it can be measured like a real place. Here's my answer. Don't concern yourself with such matters. It is as real as anything I've ever experienced, but if you understood it, you'd know that such a statement makes as little sense as saying that I have been dead. The void is unspeakable. It is infinite, and it is nowhere, ever-changing and perpetual. There are more things in the endless black void, Kirin Jindosh, than are dreamt of in your natural philosophy. Leave aside things beyond your reach, and be content that you are gifted with more insight than the common man. Delilah. So she does have powers.
The very innards of the marvelous